Before you order that slice of cheesecake or chocolate lava cake, you need to know what restaurant insiders won't tell you. 9 popular chains serve desserts with shocking secrets that could ruin more than just your diet. Recent health inspections reveal 70% of major restaurant chains fail basic dessert storage requirements. What you're about to discover might make you reconsider dessert forever. Let's start with America's Portion King, where massive slices hide disturbing shortcuts. The Cheesecake Factory built its reputation on enormous portions and over 200 dessert varieties. But those towering slices hide some unsettling truths. What looks like bakery fresh indulgence is actually mass-produced efficiency designed to maximize profits while cutting corners on quality and safety. Those famous cheesecakes don't come from skilled pastry chefs working behind the scenes. They arrive frozen solid from centralized production facilities, sometimes stored for 3 to 4 weeks before making it to your plate. Former employees from multiple locations have confirmed that cheesecakes often develop freezer burn during extended storage, creating that oddly dense texture that massive portions are designed to disguise. The real problem lies in the display cases themselves. A former manager from Arizona revealed finding green mold growing on cheesecake surfaces due to poor rotation practices and inconsistent refrigeration. When desserts cost $15 to $18 per slice, staff feel pressure to serve older inventory rather than waste expensive product. Health inspection records from 2023 show recurring violations at Cheesecake Factory locations across California and Texas for improper dessert storage temperatures. Inspectors found display cases running above 45 degrees, creating perfect conditions for bacterial growth. One location in Dallas was cited when inspectors discovered cheesecakes stored at 51 degrees for over 6 hours during peak dinner service. The generous slice sizes aren't just about value, they're strategic. When you're facing a portion that weighs nearly a pound, you're less likely to notice subtle off flavors from extended freezing or slightly sour notes from temperature abuse. Your taste buds get overwhelmed by sugar and fat before detecting quality issues. While the Cheesecake Factory hides behind portion size, our next chain uses nostalgia to mask concerning practices. That childhood nostalgia you feel walking into Dairy Queen might be the only real thing about their desserts. Despite the wholesome dairy branding and small-town American image, what comes out of those soft-serve machines contains barely any actual dairy and harbors some genuinely dangerous surprises. Here's the shocking truth about Dairy Queen's signature soft serve. It contains only 5% actual dairy content. The remaining 95% consists of artificial fillers, stabilizers, and chemical compounds designed to mimic the taste and texture of real ice cream. That smooth, creamy consistency you love? It's largely manufactured in laboratories, not dairy farms. But the questionable ingredients are just the beginning. Former employees from locations across the Midwest have reported finding black mold buildup inside soft-serve machines that weren't properly cleaned for weeks. One whistleblower from a Minnesota location shared photos of machine components covered in dark, fuzzy growth that would make your stomach turn. The contamination risk became official in 2022 when the FDA issued warnings about listeria contamination affecting multiple Dairy Queen locations in Iowa and Illinois. Health investigators traced the outbreak to inadequately sanitized ice cream dispensing equipment. 12 people required hospitalization after consuming contaminated soft-serve products. Those popular Blizzard treats carry their own risks. Former workers reveal that mix-in ingredients like cookie pieces and candy chunks often sit in open containers for hours without proper refrigeration. One employee from Texas admitted that expired mix-ins were regularly used during busy periods because managers prioritize speed over safety protocols. The machines themselves require intensive daily cleaning cycles that many locations skip to save time and labor costs. If fake dairy concerns you, wait until you see what passes for homemade at our next stop. Cracker Barrel's rustic decor and Grandma's Kitchen marketing create the perfect illusion of homemade comfort food, but their dessert operation tells a very different story. Those pies cooling in old-fashioned display cases never saw a rolling pin or mixing bowl in any restaurant kitchen. Every single pie, cobbler, and cake arrives at Cracker Barrel locations, frozen solid in industrial packaging from massive production facilities. The company's own internal documents reveal that desserts are manufactured weeks before reaching restaurants, loaded with preservatives to survive extended freezing and reheating cycles. That warm apple pie with the flaky crust, it was flash frozen in a factory in Ohio 3 weeks ago. Former employees who worked in dessert preparation have shared disturbing revelations about safety practices. A baker from a Georgia location reported serving pies up to 10 days past their printed expiration dates because managers insisted expired inventory be moved before fresh deliveries. Temperature logs from multiple locations showed dessert coolers running at 48 to 52 degrees, well above the safe 37-degree requirement. The most shocking deception involves their signature fresh-baked apple pie. Health inspectors in Tennessee discovered that Cracker Barrel's supposedly fresh pies contain sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate, chemical preservatives never found in genuine homemade baking. The crusts arrive preformed and frozen, then simply reheated in convection ovens to create that golden appearance customers expect. One former employee from North Carolina described the dessert operation as theatrical heating rather than actual baking. The warming ovens create appealing aromas and visual appeal, but you're paying $12 for reheated factory food disguised as country comfort. From fake homemade to questionable donuts, our next chain has sweet problems of its own. Dunkin' Donuts built its empire on freshness and convenience, but the reality behind those colorful display cases reveals a troubling pattern of shortcuts that prioritize speed over safety. When you grab that glazed donut with your morning coffee, you might be getting more than you bargained for. Multiple employee whistleblowers have confirmed that day-old donuts are routinely sold as fresh product, especially during slower weekday mornings, when managers want to clear inventory before new batches arrive. One former baker from Massachusetts revealed that donuts often sit exposed in display cases for 12 to 16 hours, accumulating dust, moisture, and airborne contaminants. The glazing stations present particularly serious concerns. Former employees report that these sticky surfaces are cleaned sporadically at best, creating perfect breeding grounds for bacteria and mold. The sweet residue builds up over days, attracting insects and harboring dangerous microorganisms that can contaminate fresh product. Health inspection records from 2023 show disturbing trends across multiple Dunkin' locations. Inspectors documented pest activity near donut display cases in stores across Florida, Massachusetts, and New York. One location in Boston was cited for finding cockroach droppings within 3 feet of exposed pastries. The cross-contamination risks multiply in combination coffee and donut shops. Equipment used for both coffee preparation and donut handling often receives inadequate cleaning between uses. One former employee from Connecticut described using the same cleaning rags for coffee machines and donut prep surfaces, spreading bacteria and creating health hazards that customers never see. During morning rush periods, safety protocols get abandoned entirely as overwhelmed staff prioritize speed over sanitation. Speaking of coffee chains with dessert problems, our next revelation involves America's favorite coffee giant. Starbucks perfected the art of premium coffee culture with sleek interiors and sophisticated branding, but behind that polished image lurk serious problems with their dessert offerings. The same company that charges $6 for specialty drinks cuts dangerous corners when it comes to pastry safety and dessert preparation. Those tempting pastries displayed in glass cases face a moisture problem that creates perfect conditions for mold growth. Former employees from locations in California and Washington have reported finding fuzzy green and black mold on croissants and cake pops that sat too long in humid display environments. The sealed cases trap condensation, especially during busy periods when doors open frequently, creating a greenhouse effect for bacterial growth. The real danger lies in those popular Frappuccino and dessert drink preparations. Multiple former baristas have revealed that frappe machines receive inadequate daily cleaning, allowing milk residue and syrup buildup to harbor dangerous bacteria. One employee from a Chicago location described finding thick brown slime coating the internal components of machines that hadn't been properly disassembled for cleaning in over a week. Even more concerning, managers regularly instruct staff to use expired syrups and dessert sauces to minimize waste and protect profit margins. A former shift supervisor from Texas admitted that caramel and chocolate sauces were used up to 2 weeks past expiration dates, masked by the strong flavors of coffee and ice. Health inspection records from 2024 cite multiple Starbucks locations for improper pastry handling and cross-contamination between food prep areas. One location in Seattle was flagged when inspectors found pastries being stored directly above raw cleaning supplies. While coffee shops struggle with cleanliness, ice cream parlors face their own chilling problems. Baskin-Robbins promises 31 flavors of frozen perfection, but their ice cream quality control tells a much different story than their cheerful marketing suggests. When freezer maintenance fails and safety protocols get ignored, that premium scoop becomes a risky gamble with your health. The foundation of quality ice cream is consistent freezing, but former employees report that Baskin-Robbins freezers frequently malfunction, causing temperature swings between 0 and 15 degrees Fahrenheit. These fluctuations create large ice crystals that destroy texture and provide opportunities for bacterial growth. One former manager from Arizona revealed that melted ice cream was regularly refrozen rather than discarded, creating a grainy, unsafe product that customers unknowingly consumed. The custom mix-in process presents additional dangers. Popular add-ins like cookie pieces, candy chunks, and fruit toppings often sit at room temperature for hours during busy periods, well outside safe storage guidelines. Former employees from Florida locations admit that mix-ins were rarely rotated properly, with some ingredients remaining at unsafe temperatures for entire shifts. Supply chain problems compound these local issues. In 2023, major supplier recalls affected dozens of Baskin-Robbins locations when contaminated ice cream base was discovered containing salmonella and listeria bacteria. The recall impacted stores across Texas, California, and New York, forcing temporary closures and product destruction. Equipment maintenance receives minimal attention at many locations. Former employees describe ice cream dipping wells that weren't properly cleaned for days, creating bacterial buildup around serving areas where contamination can easily spread to fresh product. From problematic ice cream to deceptive fresh desserts, our next chain secrets are particularly disturbing. Panera Bread's artisanal bakery image convinces customers they're getting handcrafted desserts made with care and quality ingredients. The reality behind their bakery cases reveals a sophisticated deception that transforms frozen factory products into premium-priced treats through clever marketing and strategic reheating. Every cookie, pastry, and dessert item arrives at Panera locations completely frozen from centralized production facilities. Former employees have confirmed that nothing gets baked from scratch in individual restaurants. Those chocolate chip cookies cooling on display racks, they were shaped, baked, and frozen weeks ago in industrial ovens hundreds of miles away. The warming process creates appealing aromas that mask the truth about their origins. Display case management creates serious contamination risks that put customers at risk. The humid environment inside bakery cases generates condensation that drips onto pastries, creating perfect conditions for mold growth. Former bakers from Pennsylvania and Ohio locations report finding fuzzy growth on cinnamon rolls and scones that sat too long in moisture-rich environments. Even more troubling, former employees admit that day-old baked goods are regularly served without proper rotation or dating systems. Items can sit in display cases for 36 to 48 hours before being discarded, well beyond safe consumption windows for products stored in humid conditions. Cross-contamination presents another significant hazard. Panera's open kitchen design means dessert preparation areas share space and equipment with sandwich assembly stations. Former workers describe using the same cutting boards and prep surfaces for both savory and sweet items without adequate sanitization between uses. If bakery chain problems shock you, wait until you discover what happens at casual dining dessert stations. TGI Fridays built its reputation on fun atmosphere and indulgent desserts, but their kitchen operations reveal a chaotic system where dessert safety takes a back seat to efficiency and cost cutting. When the same prep stations handle everything from raw chicken to chocolate cake, contamination becomes inevitable. The fundamental problem lies in shared workspace design. Former kitchen staff confirmed that dessert preparation areas routinely double as general food prep stations throughout busy shifts. The same surfaces used to slice raw vegetables and portion meat get repurposed for plating cheesecake and assembling sundaes, often with minimal cleaning between tasks. One former cook from Nevada described using cutting boards that still had onion residue while preparing dessert garnishes. Frozen dessert handling creates additional safety hazards. Popular items like brownie sundaes and frozen cheesecakes undergo multiple thaw and refreeze cycles when kitchen staff pull them from freezers during prep, then return partially thawed products when orders slow down. This temperature abuse destroys texture and creates bacterial growth opportunities that compromise food safety. Former servers have reported discovering disturbing foreign objects in dessert preparations, including metal fragments, plastic pieces, and even insects that made their way into finished products. One server from a Texas location found a piece of aluminum foil baked into a brownie that had been sent to a customer's table. Health inspection records from 2024 show recurring violations at TGI Fridays locations across multiple states for improper dessert storage and temperature control failures. Inspectors in Illinois and Georgia cited locations for keeping frozen desserts at temperatures above 10 degrees Fahrenheit, well outside safe storage requirements. Our final revelation involves a chain that's turned dessert deception into an art form. Applebee's has perfected the art of dessert deception, transforming frozen factory products into seemingly fresh treats through nothing more than microwave magic and strategic presentation. When you order that sizzling apple crisp or molten chocolate cake, you're witnessing culinary theater designed to mask the shortcuts happening behind kitchen doors. Former cooks from multiple locations confirm that 95% of Applebee's desserts arrive completely frozen and get microwaved to order. That warm brownie with vanilla ice cream, it spent weeks in a freezer before getting zapped in the same microwave used for reheating everything else on the menu. The sizzling skillet presentation creates impressive visual drama, but you're paying restaurant prices for what amounts to an expensive frozen dinner. The microwave cleaning protocols reveal disturbing safety gaps. During busy periods, kitchen staff routinely skip proper sanitization between different food items, creating cross-contamination risks between raw ingredients and dessert products. One former employee from Ohio described microwaves that weren't cleaned for entire shifts, accumulating food residue and bacterial buildup that transferred to every subsequent item. Dessert toppings present their own hazards. Hot fudge and caramel sauces sit in warming wells for days without replacement, developing thick skins and potential bacterial growth. Former managers admit that expired dessert inventory gets served regularly to avoid waste, with date labels removed or altered to extend shelf life. The temperature storage violations are equally concerning. Dessert toppings like whipped cream and ice cream often sit at improper temperatures for extended periods, creating perfect conditions for spoilage and contamination. These 9 chains prove that dessert should be a treat, not a health risk. Your sweet tooth deserves better than reheated deception and contaminated confections.